In a land steeped in ancient mysteries and timeless wonder, where relics of antiquity offer glimpses into a grand past, the tale of the Exodus stands out as a narrative that has captured human imagination like few others. It marks a pivotal moment in biblical history, symbolizing liberation from oppression, triumph over adversity, and the forging of a covenant between God and his people on Mount Sinai. This story not only roots deeply within ethical and religious systems, but also carries cultural significance that has endured over 3 millennia. Despite its enduring impact, the historical authenticity of the Exodus has been a subject of scholarly debate. Critics often cite the lack of direct archaeological evidence outside the Bible as grounds for skepticism. However, recent discoveries have shed new light on ancient Israelite presence in Egypt. Excavations near modern-day Canaan revealed what is believed to be the earliest Israelite settlement in Egypt, dating back to the time of Joseph. This discovery, along with others, offers tangible evidence of Israel's existence in the Nile Delta during the Middle Bronze Age, supporting the biblical account of their migration and settlement. Furthermore, evidence from Canaanite cities such as Hazor and Tel El Amarna corroborates the presence of Israelites in the Promised Land around the same period. Inscriptions and artifacts from these sites suggest that Israelites, identified in ancient texts as Apiru or Asiatics, were indeed part of the region's socio-political landscape. Such archaeological findings provide compelling support for the biblical narrative of Israel's exodus and subsequent settlement. The quest to validate the Exodus story continues, prompting further exploration into its historical context and geographical path. The search for Mount Sinai, where Moses is said to have received the 10 Commandments, remains contentious. While traditional belief places it in the Sinai Peninsula, archaeological surveys have yet to yield definitive proof. Nevertheless, ongoing research and discoveries underscore the enduring significance of the Exodus as a foundational narrative in human history, bridging faith, culture, and historical inquiry. The scriptures suggest that Moses, fleeing from Pharaoh after killing an Egyptian, sought refuge in Midian, which was then located in what is now Saudi Arabia. Midian offered him sanctuary away from Egyptian influence, especially with Egyptian military activities concentrated in the Sinai Peninsula. Living there for 40 years, Moses married and tended to his father-in-law's flocks until encountering God at Mount Sinai, where he received his divine mission to free the Israelites. This location of Mount Sinai in Arabia has been supported by various ancient Jewish texts and historical accounts, including those of Josephus and Philo. The identification of Mount Sinai in modern-day Saudi Arabia, specifically near the town of Al-Bad, is bolstered by archaeological findings and geographical features. Jebel al-Lawz, a prominent mountain in the region, displays characteristics that align with biblical descriptions, such as its height and the presence of ancient inscriptions and stone structures possibly linked to Israelite rituals. While archaeological research is limited due to Saudi law, satellite imagery has revealed terrain consistent with the biblical narrative, including a vast plain that could have accommodated the Israelite encampment. Moreover, investigations by scholars like Dr. Leonard Muller have highlighted the Gulf of Aqaba as a likely location for the crossing of the Red Sea, referred to in Hebrew as Yam Suf. This location's deep waters and rugged terrain fit the biblical description of the place where the waters miraculously parted for Moses and the Israelites, offering a plausible setting for this pivotal event. These interpretations challenge traditional views and suggest that re-examining historical and geographical contexts can provide new insights into the Exodus narrative, potentially reconciling it with both biblical accounts and archaeological evidence. The search for Mount Sinai in Arabia and the crossing of the Red Sea at the Gulf of Aqaba reflects ongoing scholarly inquiry into biblical events. These findings underscore the intersection of historical investigation and religious texts, prompting further exploration and debate among researchers seeking to uncover the true locations and context of these ancient narratives. About 70 miles north of the Straits of Tiran along the Aqaba coast lies a notable geographical feature known as the Nueva Peninsula. This peninsula juts out into the sea, standing alone amidst the surrounding mountain ranges. It forms a distinctive triangular-shaped beach, which according to proponents, could be the location where the biblical Exodus took place. In the Bible, it's mentioned that when the Israelites were led out of Egypt, God directed them away from the Philistine territory towards the Red Sea. They traveled through the Sinai Desert, with the southernmost road leading towards Midian, a region in northwestern Arabia. This route was crucial for trade between Egypt and the Arabian Peninsula during ancient times. Moses, initially fleeing to Midian and later leading the Israelites, is said to have taken this path. When they reached the Gulf of Aqaba, specifically near the Nueva Peninsula, they found themselves hemmed in by mountains and the sea, a situation that forced them to a standstill. Pursued by Pharaoh's army, they were trapped between impassable terrain, waiting for a miraculous escape that would eventually come with the parting of the Red Sea. The biblical account describes how Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and miraculously, the waters were divided, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry land. This event, narrated in Exodus 14, remains one of the most iconic moments in religious history, symbolizing divine intervention and liberation. Modern explorations at the Nueva Peninsula have sought physical evidence to support these ancient narratives, including possible remnants of Egyptian chariots and other artifacts that could have been preserved underwater over millennia. Explorers have noted unusual coral formations in the area, some resembling chariot wheels and other man-made shapes, suggesting the possibility of ancient artifacts lying on the seafloor. Despite the challenges posed by coral growth over centuries, there have been intriguing discoveries that hint at the presence of submerged structures possibly linked to the biblical Exodus. Advanced technologies, such as remote-controlled cameras, have been employed to delve deeper into these underwater mysteries, offering a glimpse into a potential historical event that continues to capture imaginations worldwide. The exploration off the coast of Nueva revealed intriguing underwater formations that resemble ancient chariot wheels, possibly dating back to the time of the Exodus. These structures, captured repeatedly on remote camera footage, sparked curiosity among researchers like Vivica Pontian, who identified circular patterns encrusted with coral, potentially indicative of chariot wheels. Similar discoveries off the Saudi Arabian coast further reinforce these findings. These artifacts, preserved amidst coral formations, align with descriptions in the Bible, which mention the Egyptian army's demise at the Red Sea. These discoveries have reignited discussions on the intersection of faith and science. While archaeological evidence supports the presence of ancient Hebrew populations and their movements in the region, the miraculous nature of events described in the Bible, like the parting of the Red Sea, remains a matter of belief.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.